Morality. Why is morality important in our lives? Morality is what makes us humans humane. We know, however, that the media is filled with people who are not humane. So, morality allows us to choose between right and wrong. Understanding this about morals allows us to make honest decisions in our lives and how we treat others with whom we come into contact. We are all familiar with the story of Cain and Abel and the fact that Cain was the first murderer. Based on their story, we know that Abel was righteous and Cain was not righteous in the eyes of God. We can also say that Cain was rebellious. Isn't that true with the stories about people we hear about in the media and read about in the papers today? We know their story is in the story of Cain and Abel is in the book of Genesis, but I want to share with you the mention of them that is made in the New Testament. John made reference to Cain in 1 John 3, verse 12. Quote, "We should not be like Cain, who was the evil one and murdered his brother." And why did he murder him? Because his own deeds were evil and his brother's was righteous, unquote. And Jude, in verses 10 to 12 of his book, classes Cain with those who are blasphemers, who are morally destroyed and act like an animal after a prey. Then the writer of Hebrews in chapter 11, the great faith chapter of the Bible about God's people, cites unrighteous Cain in contrast to the righteous Abel. Based on these New Testament characterizations of Cain, we can see that his murder of Abel represents the acts of people throughout human history, and that is true today. The morals of people can only improve when they believe in God and His Son Jesus Christ as Lord and Savior. Think about Cain in this manner. Cain's unrighteousness was the rejection of God's grace in his life. He allowed his anger to dominate his life. We are blessed when we allow God's grace to dominate our lives. That is why it is so important to witness and share the love, joy, and peace of God and His Son, Jesus Christ, to others with whom we come into contact. The gifts of God we share with others determines whether they share life or death, in eternity, heaven or hell. So, next week I will share some thoughts on Christian morals. God bless you and have a good week.